How do you cause a miracle? That sounds an extraordinary thing to consider because the way we see things is absolutely pivotal. And then when you change your view on the inside, then you can apply your contemplation into action. And what is a miracle? A miracle is a chain of interconnected events of benevolent causes that occur when we create a breakthrough in one area of our life. And it's suddenly then this chain of events starts to occur at an invisible under the surface level, a bit like mycelium under the earth that has this network of interconnectivity. And you'll have to have a certain discipline to look within and be able to really be honest with yourself, because that honesty is the first place that starts to open up areas. And even just that alone is capable of creating or generating all kinds of incredible things in your life. Hello, my name's Richard Rudd, and I would like to share with you an extraordinary idea and an invitation. And the invitation is to, as the title of this video suggests, is to come and experiment with causing miracles in your life. How do you cause a miracle to occur? It sounds an extraordinary thing to consider. And so let's just dive a little bit into this. I've created a technique, a template, a journey, a program called the Gene Keys Star Pearl. And it's a program that helps you to understand your life at a much more holistic level. So you see every aspect of your life as a whole. And you can see it through this model called the Star Pearl, which is these 6 spheres around one central sphere. And each of these areas represents a different part of your life. And in the core, in the center, is the sphere called the pearl. And the pearl represents a part of you that is beyond cause and effect. It's beyond time and space. It's a mystic part of you. It's an eternal part of you. It's a part right at the core of your being that connects you to the higher aspects of creation itself. And this is where miracles are generated from. But it's a part of us that we can't normally reach, and we can't reach it directly. So the only way we can reach it and therefore cause or catalyze a miracle to occur is through working on the outside, is through working on tuning the harmonics of our life. And I call the Star Pearl, it's the harmonics of the future human. And the future human is this human that is much more resonant and harmonic than the current one. And so this journey through this teaching is to help us advance our being, our consciousness, so that we can create a much deeper web of harmony in our lives. And that means at all levels, internal and external. So it's an internal journey to begin with, because you will do a self-assessment process. And through that process, you'll look and see which of these spheres of your life are out of sync. And you'll identify that there are several of them probably. And so let's say, for example, it's relating. Let's say relationships are an issue, and that's a place in your life where there's something really bothering you, a relationship that feels like it's a niggle and it feels like energy is leaking through that part of your life and there's inharmony there. And so that sphere then becomes a place where you put attention. And there'll be other spheres as well. And that in each case, you will be given a triangle, right? So you'll be looking at a triangle of different places in your life where you have admitted to yourself that things are not going as well as they could, and they could be improved. This is called an action triangle, and they all have names as well. And so you'll be working on several of these over the course of the program, but you'll be applying insights from your inner journey, because as you look at these areas of your life, the first thing you have to do is you have to change the way you see them, because the way we see things is absolutely pivotal. And then when you change your view on the inside, then you can apply your contemplation into action. And that's the second part of the program, of the process. So we're actually doing something internally, but we're also doing something externally in our lives. And that's what creates this triangulation of awareness around the pearl, right? And it's a bit like in a nuclear reaction, you go on firing protons at this nuclear core, And eventually that core becomes so unstable from all those protons, it actually starts to rupture. It starts to break open. And that's exactly what happens through this program with the Star Pearl. You literally start to triangulate weak areas in your life, areas where you know there could be improvement. And you make subtle improvements as well, tempos, and you change habits and things just subtly in the beginning. And then you'll work on various different areas in different ways according to these triangles. So you're triangulating harmony in your life at different levels of awareness and energy. This is emotional, physical, mental, and very practical as well. So you're actually applying a process of deep change to lots of specific areas. It's a bit like a mechanic tuning a car. You don't rebuild the whole engine. You just tune the very little places where energy is leaking. And that starts to have a very powerful effect on the core. The engine starts to hum. And that's when these miracles get released. And what is a miracle? A miracle is a chain of interconnected events of good fortune or benevolent, causes that occur when we create a breakthrough in one area of our life. And it's suddenly then this chain of events starts to occur, and it connects us also not only to this is connecting to other people as well. So a chain of miracles that starts to be unlocked in one person can actually create little miracles in people's lives around you as well, because we're all interconnected at an invisible under the surface level, a bit like mycelium of, under the earth that has this network of interconnectivity. And this is how miracles operate, right? So this is how you can cause a miracle through this process. It's not a course in miracles, it's how to cause a miracle. Excuse my joke. And so I want to really invite you to come and explore. There's lots of things you can look at here and find out more about the Star Pearl, the program, and join our community as we explore this incredible set of tools that will have a direct effect on your life. It'll take a little bit of time, and you'll have to have a certain discipline to look within and be able to really be honest with yourself, because that honesty is the first place that starts to open up areas. And even just that alone is capable of creating or generating all kinds of incredible things in your life. So don't take my word for it. Come and explore. Come and hear some of the miracles of other people in the field as we're unlocking them all together. And I think it's going to be an incredible journey, and I welcome all members of the world to come on board and see what kind of miracles get unlocked in your life through your pearl and your Star Pearl.